If you haven't put AI on your top priority, probably you're wasting your biggest lifetime opportunity. Amplify your knowledge, amplify your voice, amplify your outreach. If you don't use it, nobody can hear you. The reality is, as a human, all hit the AI ceiling. You get advancement because you are competent. And now you hit that ceiling because you are incompetent. So all of us, we are incompetent in this new AI age. First of all, you're incompetent because your technical skill already been irrelevant. Do you agree? Soft skill. Do you really think you're competent in soft skill? Yes? All right. Let's talk about the strategic thinking, trusting relationship. It's a power shift. It's a money business shift from traditional way of a business to a new way of a business. It reshaped the old value into a new format. What is the restructuring? If your company is not using AI, your company's value is going to wash away. So that is called a macroeconomic restructuring. When the information becomes abundant, judgment has the power. The pendulum swings to the other way. The AI already know a lot of data. People have a very different thinking, interrupted thinking. Seldom people have time to do structured thinking. People do not have the ability, have the time to make quality decision. What is the first principle of thinking? Critical thinking is not being critical, is to look for the most important elements of a certain problem. What are the second order risks? If I march to my company CEO's office, if you can quantify impact, you become strategic. AI will teach you how to quantify.
Please welcome Dr. Elizabeth Xu.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Alrighty, so today we're going to use our time to share some of my thoughts, and also we'll have a lot of time to do Q&A, and you can either go outside to do the Q&A or join our weekly hiking trip to have further in-depth discussion. So today our topic is not so much about the women and etc. It's about the AI in general, and we're going to touch on the women's specific issues and also answer your questions. So my topic is that AI is not the future, but your thinking is, right? So a lot of people think AI is not here. Well, AI is here, but AI is not our future. If you think that your future is going to be completely dominated by AI, you may not have the future, and you will end up with a terrible life. So what I'm going to do is, before I start to talk about my thoughts, let's share my journey. So there are so many logos, but let's quickly go through 5 different periods of my life. The first one is doing PhD, and did a lot of early stage of AI training, used Fourier transform, early large-scale data like satellite data to do a lot of prediction, like a weather-specific prediction. And then I went to the computer industry and became the CTO of global enterprises, managing hundreds of millions of dollars of budget and thousands of people, global teams. And then I founded the California Technology University because I felt that a university is a place that everyone who wants to learn can enter, and then it should not be as hard as everyone trying to get into the Stanford that they cannot get in. Yes, I'm the co-founder of that. Yeah, exactly. And then the board and the executive advisor, and then now I'm on my 5th phase of my journey, which is a startup founder. We're doing AI companionship, because if you look further, that AI will bring a lot of humanity-related issues, at the same time bring a lot of benefit. So how can we turn this AI technology to benefit our young and our senior, at the same time the sandwich generation, which are the people mostly here. So today we're going to talk AI power shift, the thinking cap, and we really want to focus on the strategic thinking. Because I said that AI is not the future, but your thinking is. Let's try to forget about our normal thinking pattern. I will also emphasize a few normal business best practices still apply in the AI age. We can start from there, right? And then at the end, we're gonna have a Q&A. A lot of people say, I hate the bamboo ceiling, I hate women glass ceiling, but I think all of us, or most of you, should feel like you already hit the AI ceiling because you don't really know, do you still have a job in 5 years? How about your kids? Do they have a job in 5 years, right? So I think all of us, if we don't admit that we hit the AI ceiling as human being, then you are really trying to bury your head in the sand. You're not really facing the reality. The reality is, as a human, all hit the AI ceiling. Why? All of you, and then even I look back, I get a promotion. Why? I'm trying to introduce a concept. If you haven't heard of it, I think all of my students heard this Peter's principle, meaning you get promoted, you get advancement because you are competent. You're competent at your skills, whatever skill, communication skill, etc. skill. And now you hit that ceiling because you are incompetent. A lot of people do not want to say, I'm incompetent. They always think that I didn't get that promotion because my senior manager didn't like me. Oh, I cannot find an AI-related job because I don't have AI-related experiences. Stop thinking that way. You hit the ceiling because you're incompetent. You haven't mastered the skills you really need to have. You're still cheating on yourself. Oh, you know, it's everybody else's fault. It is not. If you hit any kind of roadblocks or ceiling, you're incompetent. So all of us first think we are incompetent in this new AI age. So how do we soar in this AI age? We need to have two wings. One is the soft skill, one is the hard skill. And by the way, the hard skill, the technical skill that you were so proud of, are no longer your competency. Because the computer, the AI already took that away. So all of you think you're technically genius, think twice. You're incompetent if you sit in front of a ChatGPT, Cloud, and the Gemini. So you really need to relearn what are the hard skill, technical skill. So the question here is go back home, think about it. Did you use enough of an AI tool? Did you step on top of this AI giant? Are you really, in Chinese way, 骑在那个 AI 的脖子上? Are you really step on top of the head of this AI giant? So first of all, you're incompetent because your technical skill already been irrelevant. Do you agree?
Yes.
If you agree, raise your hand.
Yes.
Second of all, soft skill. Do you really think you're competent in soft skill? Yes? All right. Let's talk about the strategic thinking, trusting relationship. Let me put you on the spot. What is the trusting relationship? Because you're really good at it. You're very competent in terms of soft skill. Let me ask you, what is the trusting relationship? Define that.
From my mind, trusting relationship is people willing to do with you, just like Tom said, right? People want to work with you without convincing.
Why?
Because they recognize the value you are doing. So
How do you quantify their value?
because I told them that what I'm doing, right? So
All right.
I show the value what I'm doing.
So let's talk about the trust formula. I think my students understand this trusting formula very well. So there are 4 elements in this trusting formula. Number 1 is credibility. Gosh, I get A. Reliability. My GPA is 4.0. You get it?
Yeah, that work.
Intimacy. You don't go there yell at your CEO. You probably buddy with your CEO. And your CEO think you're the inner circle person.
Yeah.
You don't bow like, oh, boss. You probably just half level down, like, boss, your strategy is great. Not like, boss, I have a brilliant idea. You know what? Once you do that, your trust with your boss is gone, right? And the last but not least is a team orientation. You take the blame. I think I step on this thing. Thank you. So the team orientation is you give team the credit, you give award. When there's a blame, you take on. And you're willing to buy the drink, buy the food for the team. You're willing to do a lot of hard work for the team. And the team think, gosh, you know what? This Tom guy is taking care of all of us. Because he's taking care of us, the Tom is our leader, right? If you think that someone trusts you, you have to think from those 4 elements. Are you good? Are you always good? Can you take on the hard jokes? Can you take the blames? Do you have the intimacy you can pat on your boss? Hey, boss, can I go blah? Will your boss give you their home key when they're on vacation? Will your boss send you to their boss's meeting when they're on vacation? That is the trust. When there's a team issue, are you willing to take the harsh blame from your boss? So I would say that you have to really think, do you have the trust? Are you trustworthy for your business partner? Are you good? Are you always good? And can you have this heart-to-heart conversation? And do you really have this team orientation, meaning you can give team a word, you can take on the blame for the team, right? Now let's shift back to AI. A lot of people think that AI is a tool. No, AI is not a tool. AI is a power shift. Why do I see that? Because the decision speed is much faster, right? And the cost structure is very different. In the past, I had to hire maybe 20 people to build an app for me. But for you guys, you did a mentor app. How much time did you take? Did that take?
Took me 2 weeks.
Exactly. See, the cost structure is very different. Talent leverage. And suddenly you find out if you're willing or if you're capable of using AI tools, you are stepping on top of this AI giant. You're very capable. You actually can turn a lot of weird ideas into reality, right? And also the talent who are able to create the AI, who are willing to, who has great ideas, they get offers like $100 million offers from Meta. So the talent leverage is very different. Competitive barrier became very shallow, right? You can build an app. I can probably build an app in the same time or even faster because the AI tool is even easier to use, right? Influences and authority. And you suddenly find out that in the past, you didn't feel like you had authority. Now you can use AI tools to really have in-depth knowledge in particular area. Suddenly, you're an expert. You do have the authority because for sure you know the in-depth knowledge because the AI hallucination right now is getting less and less, right? I would say that the AI is a power shift. If you can master this AI, you have the power. If you're afraid of AI, you know what? You don't have the power. Whoever has the ability to master AI has the power inside your company. So AI is not a tool, it's a power as long as you can master it. Also, AI is an amplifier. Who is using AI to write your LinkedIn post? Raise your hand. Anyone?
Of course.
Do you use AI to rewrite your email? Do you use AI to write something that you didn't know in the past? Yes. So you are actually using AI as amplifier. This AI amplifier amplify your knowledge, amplify your voice, amplify your outreach. Because your idea, not only just your idea, becomes something that's well thought, very well articulated, and you have the proper way to present it. So AI is huge amplifier. And that huge horn, if you don't use it, nobody can hear you. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. So now we'll see the economic skill. This is something that's pretty obvious. AI will add $2.4 to $4 trillion in business every year. Also, there are so many businesses going to dwindle. They're going to go away. Let's see, if AI can file your taxes, do you really think Intuit has the value to exist? Probably not. So it's a power shift. It's a money business is going to shift from traditional way of a business to a new way of a business. Either the value, this new added value, or we'll see rewire, and then it's just reshape the old value into a new format, right? And we find out the business is moving much faster. So what should we say? This AI is not incremental improvement. Oh, today I use ChatGPT, tomorrow I use cloud, and then they just released some security feature, etc. It is a macroeconomic restructuring. What is the restructure? Meaning they're gonna throw away that phone, smash it, just like an old phone when you work at Apple. When Steve Jobs announced iPhone, those Motorola phones actually got smashed, and their key is splashed everywhere. So right now, the traditional enterprise software is going through the same route. So if your company is not using AI, your company's value is going to shrink, and they're going to be washed away. So that's just called a macroeconomic restructuring. PwC did a study say only 73% of CEOs think AI is the top priority. I thought the number should be 95%. Right? Probably all of your CEOs think that the AI is their top priority. So now let me ask you, who think that the AI skill and AI strategy is your top priority? If you think that AI is your top priority, raise your hand. Pretty good. So the people that you did not raise your hand, think twice. If you haven't put AI on your top priority, probably you're wasting your biggest lifetime opportunity, right? Because we always say you have 3 opportunities to make your money, and then a lot of times said, maybe AI is your only opportunity to make money. I try to scare you guys. So why? When the information becomes abundant, judgment has the power. Why? I remember back in 95, I was at IBM, and our SVP said, the next century is no longer a superhero century. It's going to be an information century. That means that you need to work in group, you need to process lots of data. Now, you know what? The pendulum swings to the other way. The AI already know a lot of data. You can have a very small team. You can do a lot of things that they used to be 100 people, 1,000 people could do, right? So you really need to think your judgment. Your judgment is this hour you're gonna work on AI, or this hour you're gonna go watch the social media, right? It's your choice. And second one is structured thinking. Because right now, because of the social media and so many things, people have a very different thinking, interrupt thinking. You gotta interrupt, and then you think this way. You gotta interrupt, you think that way. Seldom people have time to do structured thinking because they fill their time with social media, especially like TikTok. You can get every 30 seconds, every 10 seconds, you get a new idea. So I think the new thinking pattern, most of people have this pattern I call the interruptive pattern. This interruptive pattern is you follow the flow. The flow is not a long-term flow, it's kind of a spike, very vibrant flow. And after that, you find out that you do not have the capability to come up with a very well thought of information, right? You see that. And also decision quality. A lot of times we just make decisions. A lot of people think we can make a very clear decision whether we're going to clip that coupon, go to Safeway to get this 2-for-1 strawberry. That decision is easy. But in terms of investment, in terms of a company strategy, suddenly people find out the bigger issue. People do not have the ability, have the time to make a quality decision. Why? Because there's so much information that they have a hard time to process that. Even AI gave them different summary, right? So this is why we need to, today, I want to spend some time, instead of we're going to talk a lot about women's specific strategy. First of all, women is also a human, right? Let's talk about, in general, what are the thought patterns we all need to master? So one thing I think most people probably heard of it is called first principle thinking, right? What is the first principle thinking? Rebuild from fundamental truths, right? What problems are we truly solving? The reason I'm bringing this one up is we need to dig into everything around us to use this first principle thinking. What our assumptions are historical is no longer valid. Sorry, I used the Intuit as another example, right? Maybe it's hard to understand all the tax laws, but with the AI, it's a piece of cake, right? If we build this today, what should disappear? You need to look into your house, look at your company, look at all your process, see what should disappear, what should be replaced, right? Why? Because the assumptions are very different. We have this powerful AI tool, right? And then sometimes the problem is no longer the problem. So is the problem still the real problem? Is the assumption true? And then if we rebuild this world today, what should disappear, right? Let's talk about the story that probably all of you heard that SpaceX is going to be the most valuable IPO in the history, maybe 1.5 trillion, 2.5 trillion, etc. So because I studied the space physics, so when I was at Beijing University, so I want to bring this one up. Say, when Elon Musk look at a rocket, he said, let's lower the cost of a rocket, lower the cost of launching the satellites. People say, that's negotiate. Goes to the traditional supply chain and negotiate. But you know what? He asked the question, why do the rocket launching cost $65 million each time? And then goes through, say, raw material only consists of 2%. It's really the reusability. And that is the missing piece. So this is how he generated a SpaceX, right? So we need to question assumption. When people try to lower the cost of a particular product, you can lower the cost of the raw material, but also a different way of producing it or change your labor consumption pattern. There's so many ways of doing things. So I think when you question your assumption, cost structure collapse. When we go back to our life, we force a lot of time, our kids' time to learn Chinese, right? Then you ask one more question, why? And at the same amount of time, can the kids do something else? You answer all those questions, actually, the answer is writing on the screen, right? So now we have to use one thing, use AI to ask everything around us. Our kids' next summer school, and whether they should do this, or should you do this, or should you do certain assignment at the company, should you apply for this job or that job? Question everything, because AI is your rocket moment. Maybe this is the time for you to really launch your career, your life to a different level. So I try to push down this thinking, which they usually people stuck at the level 1 thinking, task. You know what? I'm going to finish this task. Level 2 thinking is operation. With this string of tasks, This is the operation. This is like an intermediate goal that we try to achieve. A middle-level manager, I know many of you are middle-level manager, you not only think about tasks, you also think about operations. Level 3 is really a strategy. It's a competitive positioning. When you do this, are you competitively positioning yourself among your peers as the leader? When your company have this project, is your company competitively positioned as the industry leader? You have to ask yourself, what's the strategy? You know what? We all need to think about what is the consequence of our behavior, right? We cannot just walk away, think nothing has no consequence. And then the last level of thinking is really the system and the power, is the feedback loop, is the consequences, it's the compounding effect, right? And you think about it, should you buy gold, should you buy certain stocks? Which one has the higher compounding rate? So we really need to think, I give you an example on the system level of thinking. And if you focus on a task, faster matrix, doing things faster, right? And then, but you know what? If you look at the system level, there are behavior shifts. When Meta offers $100 million to that engineer, the whole industry, like a talent behavior shift, right? Different companies start to offer huge package for the top AI scientist, because whoever gets into the AGI will dominate the world. So they are grabbing the top talent, right? Innovation declines. People went from the OpenAI to Facebook. Do you think that will really impact OpenAI's innovation? Absolutely, right? Talent leave because that 100 million package, right? Facebook is successfully using this $100 million to stir the whole AI industry talent pool and then generate how many? 100x or at least 10x of company value. That is the system level of thinking. Successfully make sure that the OpenAI's innovation got some setback and really boost its company's value, right? That's the systematic thinking. Strategy is deciding what not to do. We try to do more, so with AI we can do more. Actually, with AI you should do less, right? You need to ask yourself, what are we playing? Is this the right market? Is the market big enough for you to play? Is the market still there 2 years later? Ask yourself. You may not know the answer, at least you ask the question. Maybe today you don't know the answer, tomorrow probably you will know. Where should we exit? You only have 24 hours. Even with the AI tool, you should not tackle the whole world. Where should we exit? You know, especially in your company, if you're in the middle level of a management position, you really need to ask yourself, what should we exit? Because if you try to spread all your resources around, you're not going to be the one that going to be so sharp, can penetrate, right? Let's see, you have this much metal. You can make a needle, can penetrate so sharply, or you can make it a ball, just bounce. You have to think about it. You're the leader, right? What assumption expired? iPhone's going to dominate? Is that the right one, right? OpenAI is going to dominate? You said no. Is Gemini the right answer? Then what is the right answer? And then you have to really think how many tools I should use. What the new mode is forming? What is the moment of a truth? What are the new practices forming in the industry? Is it $100 million package a norm? Or this is just a spike? Also, I want to talk about the critical thinking. A lot of times, especially a lot of Chinese here, they said that is called 批判性思维. Wrong. Critical thinking is not being critical. It's not like you being critical. It is to look for the most important elements of a certain problem. Right? You really need to think about it that critical thinking is almost the same as the first principle in practice, right? What assumptions are embedded? What data is excluded? It's not like, what's wrong you embedded this data? What's wrong you made such, assumption? No, it's not like that. It's what exactly the truth is. Who benefits? You had an argument with your boss, with your CEO, you think about it. What is his motivation? Why does he behave like that? How can we motivate him to talk to me? How can we motivate him to really face this issue? What is his biggest stress all about, right? Right? How can I form this buddy relationship that next time he will not yell at me, right? What are the second order risks? If I march to my company CEO's office, sorry to pick on you, that how do my boss think? What do my second level manager think? What do other people think about me? What is the second order of a risk when I start to yell at my CEO? Maybe there's no such thing that people think that you're the most powerful person and the CEO later on will respect you. But most likely, people think you're a pretty harsh person. People are scared of that. People do not want to have new business with you. So we have to think about the other risks. When we started to talk about AI, a lot of people think, let's use AI. Let's do whatever my boss asks me to do. What if your boss don't have ideas? So we really need to think about it. We're not just the tool users. We are the value creators. We create values, right? What kind of values? Revenue expansion. That's the easiest way. Cost optimization. I used to hire 10 people. Now I only hire 1 people plus 2 Anthropic AI worker. Risk reduction. In the past, we have this risk and that risk, like fraud detection, compliance, etc. And now, with the AI tool, we don't have that anymore. Strategic advantage. Because Meta put this $100 million package, it really put Meta into a leaderboard. That was the $100 million well spent, right? That is called a strategic advantage. Think about Microsoft. The deal with the OpenAI boosts at least $1 trillion worth of company value. So I want to ask all of you to think like a business leader. Because if you do not think about the business, you will not become a value creator. Because in your mind, there's only tools and technology, and you do not have the vocabulary, you do not have the concept of a value. So you really need to think about it. Put a different hat, put a business hat. What are the values we can generate? Not only just the revenue, but also think about the cost optimization. That is from operation. And a risk reduction is from the compliance, from the security, etc., right? Strategic advantage from the board level. What are the strategic advantage that we have, we're going to gain from this particular task, right? A lot of people think, I want to be a good worker. That is called a builder. Create the AI systems or use AI system. And a translator. Translator are the people that bridge the business and technology. And I always say, I don't know the business. Go talk to your customer. And to look at what are the essential problems, what are the most critical problems your customer is facing. Pick it up, talk to your support. Pick up the phone, talk to your pre-sales people. Volunteer. You don't have to volunteer at the Salvage Army. You go volunteer at your sales, marketing, and also customer support. If you're a technologist, because you too, they have the trouble. If you can bridge the trouble and the tool, you are the translator, right? If you're able to use the tool to govern the risk, ethics, you're the governor. You can elevate yourself to the board level. I'm saying that you have to think about the new rules. Builders, I think all of you probably think that's easy, let's do builders. But the most important, you need to migrate yourself from builders to translators, even to the governors. In the past, you may say, I have a language issue. With the AI tool, you do not have language issue. I don't have a certain background. With the AI tools, you have no background issue. As long as you can ask the question, you have the answer, right? So you need to migrate from the builder to translator to governor to the creator. So how do we add value tomorrow? We need to apply the first principle to the high friction area. What do you mean high friction area? The area that has the most problems. Customer has a cause, sales had, this product cannot be sold. Those are the areas that we call the high friction area. Apply the first principle. Ask those questions to look at repetitive data-heavy decisions. Can we use AI tools to reduce or to derive from those data? And we can make a faster decision. Remember that? Decision faster. Remember my previous slides? Expensive delays. Why do we have to wait for 2 days? Error-prone workflows. How come this workflow sometimes doesn't work? Can we use AI to replace that, right? Legacy assumptions. Gosh, this thing is made of a legacy system. Can we replace that? Can we do an agent? Maybe this thing shouldn't even be here. Customers do not need it anymore. Because customers' business flow also moves forward. Not only ask the question, think about it. How can we quantify it in terms of revenue? This will generate a $2 million revenue. This will reduce the $200,000 cost. And this will reduce the cost of a customer ad reviews. And this will speed our time to market. Right? If you can quantify impact, you become strategic. I say, how do I quantify it? Use AI tool. AI will teach you how to quantify. Today, I'm not going to teach you how to use the AI tool, but I'm just saying that if you have a question, how do I quantify this? Ask AI. Now, I'm going to drink water. I want to give you 1 minute of a reflection point. What process should be rebuilt from scratch at your company? Think about it. I'm going to stop this 1 minute because AI stage, the minute goes faster. Who wants to share? What is the process that your company should rebuild from scratch? Anyone wants to raise hand to just talk? Go ahead.
What I'm thinking is the HR performance. Every year we have a performance review. Like say the current, I don't know the whole industry, but I know the work that I have been working for. The performance review process is not efficient. And many times didn't create value, instead of didn't do as what is expected to reward the performance.
Thank you. I'll give you a homework. Whatever you said, go back to use the AI to reformat it. So if my CEO is going to ask me what process should be rewritten, can I say that in 8 seconds? That's your homework. Because we can use AI to really sharpen our communication skills. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. Now, most of the company has less governance, and I think what we can do is to really think about the governance. Even though this is not this group's strong suit, but you know what, IEEE should be the place to do certain level of governance, right? Maybe you should use the tool to think about it. How can IEEE, you as a volunteer, to provide some governance, right? You know what, look forward, something I'm not looking forward to, but looking forward, 300 million jobs globally will be impacted by AI. Meaning, those jobs, maybe they're going to be gone. Think about it. Uber driver's job will be gone once the robo-taxi is in place. CPA's job is going to be gone, or part of the CPA job is going to be gone when AI can do the tax in 1 minute. One thing we need to do is to think about it. Maybe you, as an architect, system level architect, can bring the builders, the translators, governors together, become the architect of this whole new AI world. Then your job is not going to be gone. You're going to create new jobs. And I think the architect's job is going to be amplified. To summarize, if you are going to be the leader in the AI age, you have a choice. Those are tools I suggest you to use, or those are the new thinking patterns you need to train yourself on. Number one is the first principles. Create the clarity. Is this your problem? Is this problem? Is this the right assumption? Think about that rocket. story. Think about the SpaceX. Strategy. Think about how can you generate a strategy, the level 3 thinking to create the directions. Maybe you can just say, boss, thinking about this. What do you think about the strategy should be? Sometimes you just need to plant a seed, even though you have answer. Or, boss, you know what, maybe we want to have a strategy in that. Do you want me to give a try? Give the credit to your boss. And then you'll have the power. Oh, this is another talk. We said the credit and the power. When you gave the credit away, actually you have the power. Critical thinking created the AI native business processes. What things should disappear? What things should be rewired, should be recreated? Think about it. If I have the opportunity to rebuild everything, what kind of AI native process I should have, I should build? So in the next 30 days, I'd like to ask you to challenge one assumption. You may not challenge openly. You should challenge in your head. Is this the right assumption? A lot of times say, should I challenge this assumption at a company level? Absolutely not. You can quietly discuss with your boss, say, boss, do you think this assumption is correct? Why did we make such assumption? Do you think this assumption will be valid when the AI is going to take over? Ask those questions. If you don't know how to ask that question, ask AI, how can I question the assumptions politically inside my company? Do that. Ask one AI governance questions. You can write it and practice with AI. I want to bring this one up to our chief security officer. What would be the best way to bring it? Tell AI exactly your current position, your company situation, your chief security officer situation. Have this one-on-one privately. And mentor someone in strategic thinking. I don't think this cannot be done, that cannot be done. Think strategically. Use the first principle. Teach them. When they ask you to give them an answer, you just say, let's learn the first principle together. Let's ask questions and try to find the fundamental truths together. The future belongs to those who think the deepest. Let's all switch our thinking from this interactive thinking to a system-level thinking. Apply the first principle to use the critical thinking to find the truth, and then to use the AI to amplify our thought, to deepen our thoughts. You can do that. You're the winner. Thank you.
Now let's have a couple questions.
Let's do question one by one. So your first question is, maybe all the robots going to do our work, and then we should all sit by the pool and having fun. Yeah, it can be the future of a human, but not everyone's going to have that option. There are people that who can. We don't have enough pool for people to sit. Some people don't have a pool. We had a great discussion at our hiking today. So welcome you to join our hiking group. We had a great time this morning. We talk about specifically about this is future. What is the human value? Right? What is the human value? And then what kind of things we should do to make ourselves feel like we're valuable? Maybe it's our hobby. Maybe so we help someone. Maybe we just have fun. When we pressure our kids, like especially the mom, pressure our kids to learn certain hard skill, maybe we should think twice. Maybe we should let the kids to form some kind of a hobby, something that truly they are passionate. And because in the future, maybe only the passion and the happiness can propel them through their life. And that is the most important thing.
So my second question, when you have all these tools.
So basically, when we try to borrow ideas from ChatGPT, it sounds like we actually do not have the true creativity. In that sense, I would say that idea is cheap. Execution is the king. Whoever can bring the idea into reality, into the real world, who have created value. The value is not at the idea level. The value is at reality level. For example, Elon Musk said we should build the data center in the space. I said that many years ago because I had a space physics major. You know what, my idea was cheap. I don't have the money to build it. So anyway, we can let some other people ask questions so we can have more discussion.
Dr. Xu, thank you very much. So honestly, this is one of the most insightful discussions because at the beginning I disagree with some of your opinions, but then I've been fully convinced. So one of the things that I think that bothers me, right, is we're talking about this two skill set, right? Skill versus the soft skills. So I'm thinking about how they can actually interact, right? Because one of the things I think people or the governments are thinking about is how do we build a trust to the AI, right? That's where people have a debate on Intuit, right? Whether people can actually do the finance or AI do the finance. So how do you think that will be involved over time? That's my first question. And second question is, how does AI can solve the people question? Because when you ask me to think about what's the barrier that doesn't follow the first principle in the company, I was thinking sometimes the people have fight on their ownership, and that's actually drag the whole process of this production and all the stuff. So I'd like to hear your insight.
The first one you said usually people do not trust the AI system. So that's actually the trust formula works really well for that AI system is always and always right. I think the reason people do not trust AI because of AI hallucination. But you know what? The hallucination is getting less and less. AI is doing much better at this point, right? I think the trust to the AI system has increased. I don't have the specific number, has increased so much since last year. And I hardly see much of a hallucination now. Your second question was the people problem, right? I think the people problem will be resolved by the AI as well. When the company is losing so much revenue, the company cannot afford so many people. The company will get rid of the people. Then the people's problem will be gone. Seriously, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be bloody. I know that you disagree with me at the very beginning. You got convinced later on. Maybe at the very beginning I said everyone is incompetent. It's in comparison. If you compare to AI system, we are all incompetent. Seriously. But we as a human, we have this ability to generate intimacy, to have this heart-to-heart conversation. Maybe we can yell at someone. We have this passion, we have this anger, and that makes us so unique, right? The machine cannot do those things yet. Maybe in the future they will. What I'm saying here is, in the future, this AI transformation is going to happen. That 300 million jobs is going to be impacted, regardless whether you like it or not. It's going to happen sooner or later. But I think it's going to be sooner than most people anticipated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry to take so much of your time. Thank you for listening.
So much information there, like all those principles and strategies. Next, it's our President Gary, Emily, and Stephanie coming here to present.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
presentation. Very nice. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Excellent presentation.
I hope that. I want to tell you the
Come
truth.
here a little bit.
Okay.
Because that
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to you. Thank you.